Suella Braverman has gone, and there was such an effort by her and her cronies to keep her in place last night. Not only was there the ridiculous effort to massage her Twitter feed and put photographs of her sitting among the police and all these encouraging ideas about plans that she's got so that she doesn't look as if she's out of ideas, but there was also a story in GB News which went out unchallenged. In fact, I'm going to play this now. Extraordinary person. I don't know who she is, but she turns up regularly when GB News wants a voice to put out some of its tosh. Listen.
Embassy. They're very but instead, Tommy Robinson came down and threw stuff at the police. 92 arrests. That's quite a lot.
There we are. Complete rubbish, because we know from the Maya Tusi footage that Tommy Robinson didn't throw anything, that he was as meek as a lamb, and he was not responsible for those riots. Whether he was encouraging people on social media to go to London doesn't really matter. The real inciter of those riots was Suella Braverman. And more than that, she has form, because 1 year ago, on the Saturday before Remembrance Sunday, she incited another riot. She had another protest in London, the Albanian protest, and that marched through London. I can't think of any other politician who has single-handedly brought the people out like this. For what? For what? For her dream? Her nightmare? This is a madness. And and also this mindless repetition of other people's ideas. In her case, we gather it's a person called John Hayes, this mentor, this shadowy figure from the background. It was to him, apparently, that she was leaking documents when she broke the ministerial code. A technicality, but still she broke the ministerial code, didn't she? And it was under him that this whole business of the Frankfurt School of Philosophy, criminalizing Western values and this anti-woke coalition and cultural Marxism. Well, underneath all these is a patina of anti-Semitism. And, in fact, the Board of British Jews questioned her use of the term cultural Marxism in 2019. Joan Salter, if you remember, stood up in a meeting in her constituency and said, Joan Salter, a Holocaust survivor, stood up and said that the language that Suella Braverman was using reminded her of the language of the Holocaust, the language of Hitler during the late 1930s. This was a Home Office minister, a Secretary of State for the Home Office, who was incapable of doing her job. She was following her dream. Nobody builds a reputable ministerial career on what they do in the middle of the night. Nobody. And Rishi Sunak was a fool to keep her in place for so long. She has single-handedly undermined his premiership and almost destroyed the Conservative Party. It will take a miracle to put it back together. Maybe that is what Rishi Sunak is doing at the moment. Rishi Sunak is by far the most intelligent person to be in number 10 since Harold Wilson. But I'm not sure whether even he can square this circle and repair the damage done by this utterly crazy individual, stoked to the hilt with her own sense of self-importance and her own sense of and her own chip on the shoulder. A lifestyle choice to be homeless. Tell that to the veterans who are sleeping in tents. The disproportionate number of homeless who are veterans. Utterly extraordinary. Now, maybe she was planning, maybe all that people in tent stuff was because she knows that having reduced the 28 grace day period from 28 days to 7 days for refugees to find appropriate accommodation, she knows that the homelessness numbers are going to rocket because, again, of her stupidity and her inability to think forward. And there will be refugees and foreigners, homeless on the streets. And what is her response? To deny them even a tent. This is shocking. She needs to read the stories of Martin de Porres, of the Good Samaritan. Our humanity is measured in the care we have for the stranger, and the stranger who has come among us, and that's in almost it is in all the great religions: Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam.